A heart-stirring beginning. Awakening the hidden pain. Have you ever felt like life just kept moving forward while you were left behind, stuck in a place of pain no one seems to notice? You look around and everyone else appears fine, but inside, you're battling something unseen, exhausted, worn down, wondering if you'll ever feel whole again. And quietly, almost without realizing it, you start to think, maybe God has forgotten me too. You wouldn't dare say it out loud, but deep down, there's that ache, that terrifying question, am I too far gone, too broken? Has he given up on me? I want you to hear this clearly, and with all your heart. It is precisely when you feel the most lost, the most unworthy, the most alone, that God's pursuit of you becomes the most relentless. Not when you've fixed everything, not when you've earned it, but right in the middle of your mess, your confusion, your heartbreak. This isn't wishful thinking. It's a picture Jesus painted for us, a snapshot of God's heart in action. In Luke chapter 15, Jesus tells a story you might know well, but today, I want you to hear it. Like it's your first time. A shepherd has 100 sheep. One of them, just one, wanders off. It loses its way. Maybe it was distracted. Maybe it stumbled. Or maybe it just couldn't keep up anymore. Now logic would say, forget it. You've still got 99 safe and sound. But the shepherd, he does the unthinkable. He leaves the 99 and sets out into the wild, determined to find that one lost sheep. Why? Because in the eyes of God, that one matters. You matter, even in your brokenness, especially in your brokenness. That story, it's not just a parable to make us feel good. It's a revelation of God's radical, stubborn love, a love that refuses to let anyone slip through his grasp. So today, whether you're the lost sheep yourself, or you love someone who is, we're going to dive deep into what this story truly reveals and how it proves, beyond all doubt, that God never stops coming for you. The searching journey from wound to restoration. Let's start with something that no one likes to admit, that hidden fear inside of us that whispers God isn't watching anymore. I've slipped off his radar. We don't always say it out loud, but when prayers feel unanswered, when the silence gets heavy, when the struggle stretches on without relief, it's hard not to wonder, has he forgotten me? Here's the shocking truth, and it might just flip your perspective upside down. It's often in the silence, in those long, empty spaces, that God is watching you the closest. We tend to think his presence means noise, miracles, signs, but real love watches, waits, and never looks away. Think of that lost sheep. It probably didn't even realize it was being watched. It may have felt completely alone, but the shepherd's eyes were scanning the hills, every shadow, every thorny path, watching, waiting for the right moment to step in. And that's exactly how God sees you. Even when you can't sense him, even when your heart feels numb, his eyes are fixed on you with laser focus and relentless love. That might be hard to believe, especially if you've been wandering for a long time. But let me ask you something real. Where in your life do you feel furthest from God right now? It's time to get brutally honest. Take a quiet moment. Write it down. Where are you lost? Where do you feel invisible? Because here's the invitation. Before God steps in to lift you up, he wants you to acknowledge the space you're in. Not to shame you, but to bring the hidden wounds out of the dark and into his healing light. This is where the journey begins. Not with a sudden rescue, but with an awakening, a realization that even when you feel unseen, you are fully, fiercely known. And as we keep walking through this story, you'll discover that God's pursuit of you is far more relentless and far more personal than you ever imagined. Why would God leave the 99 for just one? Now let's lean into one of the most shocking twists of this story. The shepherd doesn't just notice that one sheep is missing. He makes a decision that feels almost reckless. He leaves the 99 safe, secure, together, and goes after the one who wandered off. Pause for a second and really think about that. If we were writing this story, we'd probably say, well, 99% is still a win. Let's cut our losses and move on. Because that's how the world thinks. Right, we value the crowd, the majority. We put systems over souls. And honestly, we fear being too emotional or irrational about one person. But God's heart, it flips that logic completely upside down. In his eyes, that one is not a statistic. That one wandering soul, it matters so much that he's willing to risk the comfort and stability of the 99 to bring it home. Why? Because God's love isn't practical. It's personal. His love isn't diluted by numbers. It's laser-focused. It sees you as if you're the only person in the world. Let that sink in for a moment. We spend so much of our lives believing we need to compete for God's attention, as if His love is a limited resource we have to earn or deserve. But this story blows that idea apart. It tells us, even if everyone else is doing great, even if the whole flock is thriving, God's eyes are still locked on the one who's hurting most. That means you. That means me. And here's the challenge, one that might feel uncomfortable. Can you let yourself believe that God's love is this personal, not just for the church, not just for humanity in general, but for you, right now, exactly as you are? This week, I want to invite you to do something simple, but powerful. Set aside just 10 minutes each day to sit quietly, no words, no striving. Just be still and allow yourself to feel what it's like to be the one sheep, the one He loves enough to pursue, as if no one else existed. Because here's the truth, to God, you are not one of many. You are the one, and that changes everything. He never stops searching, even when you've given up. By now, maybe a part of you is quietly whispering, I hear all this talk about God's love, but honestly, I've messed up too much. I've been lost for too long. Surely at some point, even God must move on. That feeling, let's be real, it's heavy. We all carry moments of deep discouragement, where we look at the broken pieces of our lives and think, this is too much, too damaged, too far gone. And here's the thing, we're used to people giving up on us. Friends who once cared drift away. Family grows distant. Even we get tired of our own struggles. We think, if I can barely stand myself right now, how could God possibly still be here? But that's where the heart of this parable speaks. The loudest. Let's go back to Luke 15 for a second. Jesus tells us that the shepherd doesn't just glance around for a bit. He doesn't make a half-hearted attempt and then sigh. Oh well, can't save them all. No. Scripture says he goes after the lost sheep until he finds it. That word until is everything. Not until it's inconvenient. Not until he gets tired. Not until it seems hopeless. He searches until, which means he keeps going, no matter how long it takes. Let's be honest, that's not how we expect God to act. We expect Him to have limits like everyone else. We expect His patience to run out, His love to shrink back, especially when we keep making the same mistakes over and over again. But this story crushes that belief. It shows us a God who doesn't set time limits on grace, a God who doesn't flinch at how messy your life gets, a God who refuses to label you a lost cause even if you've already done that to yourself. He's the kind of shepherd who keeps climbing the mountains, keeps pushing through the thorns, keeps searching the valleys, long after everyone else has given up. And maybe, just maybe, you need to hear that today. Because here's the raw truth. There are parts of your life right now, deep, hidden parts that you've silently decided are too far gone. It could be a broken relationship, a secret addiction, a dream that feels completely dead. Or maybe it's a part of your heart that's so wounded, you've stopped even hoping for healing. I want to challenge you right now. Name it. Write it down. Don't sugarcoat it. What's the one thing you've told yourself? This, God can't fix. Got it. Now here's what I want you to do. Every single day this week, I want you to look at those words you wrote and declare this truth out loud. God is still searching for me. Right here. Because He is. Right now. In the middle of the mess, in the places you've buried under shame or silence, He's still searching, still fighting, still pursuing you with relentless love. And the best part, the story isn't finished until He finds you. And friend, He will find you. Heaven's celebration, when you are brought back. Now here's where this story takes a turn. That's so unexpected. It almost feels too good to be true. We live in a world that loves to keep score. We're told, if you mess up, you have to pay the price. If you fail, you deserve the consequences. And if, by some chance, you manage to crawl your way back, people often look at you with suspicion, waiting to remind you of the mistakes you made. That's just how it works down here. The world punishes weakness. It shames failure. It whispers, you should have known better. But God does something completely different. In the parable, When the shepherd finds the lost sheep, he doesn't scold it. He doesn't say, "Well, it's about time you stop being stubborn." No, he lifts it up, puts it on his shoulders, and rejoices. And not just a little, he throws a full-blown celebration. Jesus says, there will be more joy in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous people who don't need to. Let that sink in. More joy, more rejoicing, more celebration for the one who returns. It's wild, right? The world critiques you for falling, but heaven throws a party the moment you get back up. There's no resentment, no silent treatment, no tally of all the wrongs, just pure, overflowing joy that you are home. And here's what that means for you. Every tiny step you take toward God, even the smallest movement of your heart matters. It stirs heaven. It triggers a celebration in the unseen world. It tells all of creation, look, someone is coming back to life, and I want you to start living like that's true. Here's a simple but powerful practice. Start your own victory journal. Every time you take a step forward, no matter how small, write it down. It could be as simple as today. I prayed when I didn't feel like it, or I chose hope over despair. Just for one moment. Write it. Mark it. And as you do, remind yourself, heaven is celebrating this moment, right now. Angels are dancing because of this tiny act of faith. We don't celebrate ourselves enough. We're so quick to focus on what's still broken, what we haven't fixed yet. But God's way is different. He rejoices in every single victory, no matter how small it seems to you. So today, start training your mind to see what heaven sees. Start honoring your progress the way God does. And remember, every step back toward Him is a reason for heaven to sing. From lost sheep to shepherd, the call to action. Up until now, we've been focusing on you, your wounds, your journey, your restoration. And that's essential, because real healing begins when you know, deep down, that you are fully loved, fully pursued, and fully found. But here's something beautiful and powerful about the way God works. He never stops with just you. His love isn't meant to end when you're found. It's designed to multiply. That's the bigger vision of this story. You were once the lost sheep, but now you're invited to become the shepherd. Think about that. The same love that came crashing through the wilderness to rescue you is now calling you to step up to carry that same compassion into someone else's darkness. Because the truth is, there are hurting people all around you right now. They may not say it out loud, but they are wandering, lost in grief, trapped in addiction, crushed under shame, lonely beyond words. And here's the key. Your healing is never meant to be a finish line. It's meant to be a launching pad. True restoration happens when you don't just receive God's mercy, but when you become a channel of it. So I want to challenge you, right here, right now, who in your life do you know is hurting? Who is wandering right now? Maybe hiding it well, but deep down, they're lost. It could be a friend, a coworker, a family member, or someone God brings to your mind unexpectedly. Take a moment, pause this if you need to, and ask God, Lord, who is my one? Who are you calling me to notice, to love, to pursue in your name? And when someone comes to mind, don't ignore it. Write down their name. Pray over them. Ask boldly, Lord, how can I be your hands and feet to them today? Remember, you know what it feels like to be the lost sheep? You know the weight of being unseen and the overwhelming relief of being found. Now you get to be the one who helps lift that weight off someone else. Because the story of the lost sheep isn't just a story about God rescuing you. It's a story about God releasing you, empowering you to join Him in the rescue mission. And that is where true healing becomes true purpose. Awakening hope. As we come to the end of this journey, I want you to pause and breathe this in. You are not too far gone. You are not too broken. You are not too lost for God to find you, no matter how tangled your path has become, no matter how many times you've fallen down, no matter how long you've been wandering. The truth is simple and unshakable. God has never stopped searching for you, and He never will. The parable of the lost sheep, it's not just a nice Bible story. It's your story. It's the living, breathing proof that right now, this very moment, God is still on His way to meet you, to lift you up, to carry you home on His shoulders, with joy that drowns out every ounce of shame. You are seen. You are wanted. You are deeply, wildly loved. And if you've been found, then you are also called to step out and become a light for others who are still lost in the dark. So don't let this message stop with you. If something in today's video stirred your heart, if you felt even a flicker of hope reigniting inside, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Because someone out there, someone you might not even realize, is waiting for a sign, waiting for a reminder that they, too, are still being pursued by a love that never quits. And before you go, I want to invite you to stick with us. In the next video, we'll be diving deeper into how to walk in full, lasting healing through faith, so you can not only be found, but live free and whole. Until then, hold on to this truth: you are never alone, and you are always worth the search.